Good morning and welcome to KidNuz. I'm Tori. Today is Thursday, June 8th, 2023, which is National Best Friends Day and World Oceans Day. Or as CNN puts it, a great excuse to take your bestie to the beach. Unless, perhaps, you're on the East Coast, which continues to choke on smoke from 150 active wildfires in Canada. A thick gray haze is making its way south, blocking out the sun, canceling school sports, postponing a Yankee game, and prompting Americans from Maine to Maryland to dig out their pandemic-era face masks all over again. 13 states have now issued warnings, but New York seems to be bearing the brunt of it, with LaGuardia Airport grounding flights and New York City recording the most pollution of any major city in the world. According to IQ Air, Manhattan reached a hazardous 353 on its air quality index yesterday afternoon, far worse than Dubai's 167 or New Delhi's 164. As one doctor in the Syracuse area said in a Facebook post, "I can taste the air." Meteorologists predict the unhealthy haze will hang around for a few more days before easing. 6,000 miles to the west, Earth's most active volcano is rumbling again. Before dawn yesterday morning, the United States Geological Survey detected a glow from inside Hawaii's Kilauea crater, and a few hours later released a live stream of lava shooting into the air at the summit. The local observatory raised the eruption alert level to red for warning, but said populated areas nearby are not at risk. Traditional folklore says Kilauea is the home of Pele, Hawaii's volcano goddess, and the thin glass fibers that are formed by gas during an eruption are known as Pele's hair. Because of that and ash, downwind residents are, like those impacted by the Canadian wildfires, being told to mask up for protection. In other KidNuz notes, the leader of the world's 1.3 billion Catholics is back in the hospital. Just 2 months after being treated for bronchitis, 86-year-old Pope Francis had surgery yesterday on his intestines. Doctors say the procedure lasted 3 hours and there were no complications. He's expected to remain hospitalized for a few more days. There's another big shakeup at CNN. The network's CEO, Chris Licht, resigned yesterday after only a year in the top job and just days after a controversial profile piece appeared in The Atlantic magazine. In it, Mr. Licht criticized his own network for how it covered COVID and repeatedly made unkind comments about the man who held the position before him. Lionel Messi is on the move. The most wanted free agent in soccer history is leaving Paris Saint-Germain at the end of the season to cross the pond and play with Major League Soccer's Inter Miami. The superstar confirmed the news himself, but also said the ink isn't totally dry on the deal, which, according to The Athletic, also gives him a share of the money generated by new subscribers to the MLS Season Pass on Apple TV+. If you've been watching baseball this season, you know the Anthem standoff is back. It's a tradition that comes and goes, but this season, it seems here to stay. For the uninitiated, it's about one or more players from opposing teams spontaneously staying on the field after the national anthem is ended, hand over heart, trying to outlast the other. The first to break and head back to the dugout loses. It's all fun and games until someone gets ejected and fined, and that's what sometimes happens now with MLB's new pitch clock. This week, though, the Pittsburgh Pirates found a workaround. Instead of a player holding out, their big green mascot took up the challenge. But even though the Pirate Parrot really can't get tossed, it was the Oakland A's actual players who held their ground, first winning the standoff and then the game, which ended a dismal 15-game on the road losing streak. That's it for KidNuz. Now, today's KidNuz quiz. How many U.S. states have issued air quality warnings due to smoke from the fires in Canada? At least 13. What is the name of Earth's most active volcano? Kilauea in Hawaii, which began erupting again yesterday. The boss of what big network just resigned? CNN. Soccer superstar Lionel Messi says he's headed to what team? Inter Miami in the U.S. Today's KidNuz Kicker is all about the animals. First, up to Maine, where the hue of a recently caught lobster is in the headlines. It's bright orange, which, according to the University of New England, is a 1 in 30 million find. The only colors rarer are cotton candy and white, both of which are found in only 1 out of every 100 million lobsters. And a dog just set the record for having the world's longest tongue. Zoe, a Labrador German Shepherd mix from Louisiana, lapped up the honor for her liquor, which Guinness notes measures 5 inches and is longer than a soda can. Speaking of dogs, check out another cool podcast for curious kids called Tumble. They have a great episode on whether dogs think and feel the way we do. You can find Tumble wherever you get your podcasts or go to their website, sciencepodcastforkids.com. Before we go, a quick shout out to our KidNuz classrooms, including Mrs. Brittingham and her penguins at Pemberton Elementary in Henrico, Virginia, Mrs. Erickson and her eagles at Mary B. Lewis in Bloomington, California, and Mrs. Roth and her tigers at Clemson Elementary in Clemson, South Carolina. A reminder to check out our new June Noodler. It's up on our website, free, and a great way to get kids thinking about recent news from a new and different angle. Thanks for listening. We'll see you back here for more KidNuz tomorrow morning.